Did we really ever leave the Dark Ages, or did our eyes just adjust? Anyways, welcome everybody to The Purposes of the Pale. I am the greatest man that ever lived. I was born to that. That's a Weezer song. I'm Curious, and I'm here with my elusive co-host.
Grey Link, that's me. I'm very elusive. I don't know what that means.
You don't know what elusive means?
Wait. I think I do. I think I do. I may be wrong. Let me just. Difficult to find, catch, or achieve. Yeah, that's me.
You're like that one Stanley Kubrick movie called like Never Catch Me or something.
I'm like fuck. What was that Pokemon? It's very hard to catch.
You don't expect me to know anything about Pokemon. I know more about like Chinese off-brand Pokemon than normal Pokemon.
It's this fuck. I remember. It's like this green snake that flies, but it's a dragon. It's just a green dragon. Green dragon.
God, Pokemon is so irrelevant to my life.
Oh yeah, it's Rayquaza. Rayquaza. That's
Rayquaza?
Yeah.
Rayquaza sounds like a Spanish dish. You want to have some Rayquaza tonight, amigo?
I know that because I used to play one of those games with my friends when I was a child.
Pokemon
I was
Go.
a child once. God damn.
You went to the polls. Pokemon Go to the polls. I voted for Hillary or something.
So how's your week been?
It's not really weeks anymore. It's like weeks. Because never mind. I'm very efficient. Nothing happened. I was very timely with all the podcasts, and I definitely did not miss a recording that we had 2 weeks ago. Nothing like that ever happened.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, you do have you have to plan out 3 terrorist attacks, so it's fine, you know.
Indeed, and also I have to edit the power scaling videos on the side.
Yeah, that's that's the 4th terrorist attack.
The duality of man. You know, I do violence terrorism and I do intellectual terrorism, which is power scaling.
And emotional terrorism.
Yeah, that's what my conversations with my parents are like. Where was I? So yeah, okay. I think I listened back to the podcast. By the way, it's doing surprisingly well for our standards. We got a new subscriber and we got 50 views on the podcast, which is I did not expect it at all. Maybe it's because of the what is it called? Fucking not INTP, MBTI test. It's a popular topic for a podcast or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe the topic you picked tapped into the YouTube watchers' stupid fucking brains.
Or we are just insanely charismatic and we just don't know it. So
there's 2 options in that. But I mean, to follow up on what I kind of said in the in the last podcast, I told you that I signed up for a talent competition kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in my school, it's me playing the guitar, and I think I also said it was Two-Headed Boy by Neutral Milk Hotel, and that my teacher was a fan of that. Yeah, so I played it, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was very nerve-wracking though. I haven't done anything like this in a long time. No, I mean I've done it before. As a smaller little kid, I was actually on Latvian television. Once. Yeah, to promote a book by my teacher, because my guitar teacher was a pretty big deal in Latvia, which is nothing anywhere else. But it's still it is what it is.
Damn.
Yeah, and I've also been on in singing competitions, but those are kind of official because I got interviewed once. Yeah, there's a bunch of bullshit, but yeah, basically after COVID happened, after I kind of stopped really actively singing and playing guitar, this is the first time I got back to it more properly. And technically speaking, this is the most I've performed in front of an audience, because usually there's 5 people sitting in the competition and they're just rating it, or in the TV station you're just in the set with the 5 people, the 2 hosts of the TV radio channel or whatever the fuck. So it's not anything facing the public, but this one, and the entire school is there, which is 100 200 people.
Yeah,
it was mandatory. So yeah, that was also there. And yeah, it was very nervous, and I saw my other classmates who were also participating. They were also nervous as shit. There was this one actress girl who was she's in every one of my classes because we have kind of the same interests, so we talk a lot. And she was saying how in her theater performances she has to puke every time she goes on the stage because of how fucking nervous it makes her. Thankfully she didn't puke, because I was sitting next to her the whole time and it wouldn't have been pretty. But yeah, okay, more about the performance itself. I was pretty nervous, like my voice is kind of twitching at first, but then, you know, it's just, I don't know who said it, maybe it was a schizophrenic monster in my brain, but you know, there's this quote somewhere about how, you know, you treat practice like it's the real thing, and you treat the real thing as the practice. So I kind of did that, and I just thought, you know, I try to forget the audience.
Oh yeah. I've heard similar sentiments with people who have been on stage in my school.
Yeah, and it's like I guess it really depends, because sometimes you do need the audience interaction. You kind of need that, but you know, when you're playing a sad indie folk song from the 1990s, it's fine. Nobody's gonna need you to get out of your sad boy zone. So yeah, I kind of just, you know, sang the best I could, and I didn't win the prize. Okay, technically there's like a participation prize. I fucking hate that. I think you know, we're leftists. We're like, yeah, everybody should be equal. But this is where I support social Darwinism. Fuck anybody who like thinks we need a participation prize in anything.
Yeah,
sometimes
I agree.
sometimes you just need to be told that you fucking suck at something. Okay, like that's just the reality. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So I got a participation prize, but that's it. And somebody else won. You know, they were like a whole band, so you know it made sense. I was just one guy playing my acoustic guitar.
Okay.
So I didn't expect much, but I still was proud of myself to, you know, put myself out there. But then some people came up to me after the performance and after the ceremony to be like, insert real name of Curious. You were my favorite performance. You are the, you know, I thought you were the best. And I was like very surprised at that. Some people were really impressed and surprised by my performance, because I guess I just don't look that assuming. Especially, I don't think anybody expected me to sing about like taking your clothes and putting fingers notches in your spine. But I did. And yeah, some people were really shocked. Unfortunately, all the people that came up to me were like, you know, they wore like hoodies and half their face was covered, and they like had giant glasses, and they kind of, you know, they kind of looked like they would plan a terrorist organization. Like they kind of look like they're either like white supremacists or they're like really big gamers. I think that's the, unfortunately, this is the kind of audience the song attracts, I guess.
Okay. Damn. So basically, your followers, your terrorist organization.
Yes, I got my followers. You know, I'm gonna do something 2024. Nobody's gonna know. Yeah.
Hopefully nothing really happens, and this is picked up by the FBI.
We are big now. We got 50 views. We gotta watch our words.
Yeah.
That's one thing that happened. What about you?
I mean, here it's Christmas, so we had a Christmas celebration. Before which we had like an all-state science exhibition that was hosted by my school. I didn't go, but I heard it was okay, I guess. I don't know. I fucking hate science exhibitions anyways. This is like different colored volcano eruptions all the time.
Yes, and it's like everybody knows the Earth is flat. Like they're just like fucking perpetuating the hoax at this point.
Yeah, I really don't get it.
But about the Christmas celebration, which you were actually at.
Oh yeah. I wanted to disappear from the Earth when I was there, as expected.
You're like that Radiohead song.
Yeah, how to disappear without.
I'm not here. This isn't happening.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Why?
Yeah, because there's like nothing really happened that was interesting. A lot of people just sang, and then a lot of people danced, and then it was over. And then I came back home.
Is it like a is it like a performance thing, or is it like a party?
Well, yeah, both, I guess. We had like a school performance, like inside the school auditorium, and then after which we came back to the class, and then we just, you know, danced and sang and took a lot of photos. Which is another thing, because I fucking hate photos. I fucking hate appearing in photos. So it was especially terrible for me. Yeah. I had this book with me, which I did flip through, but I really did not want to look like someone, you know, like this generic introvert loner. So I flipped through a few pages. I realized I shouldn't be doing this, and then I shut the book, and then I kept it in my bag, and then I watched other people, which made me miserable, and then I went back to the book, and the cycle just repeated. So it was terrible.
Man,
but
I mean, what? But there's a but.
But it's over, and now it's vacation time.
Yes. Yeah, I've been off vacation for like a week already, but Gray's also in vacation, so we're all in holiday mode, which means we're gonna produce better content. Hopefully, maybe.
Hopefully,
I hope.
yeah.
Hopefully. But before we get to the content, which we do have some stuff to talk about. Not from me though, because I don't make anything anymore. I do want to talk about, I guess, like parties, because I also haven't been to a lot, but there was an after party for this performance. I didn't go because my friends weren't there and the girl I liked wasn't there, so like fuck it, why would I go? Nobody but there was a bunch of tangerines and I stole a bunch of them because
Wait,
I
tangerines are what, oranges?
No, oranges are a different thing. Tangerines are the smaller oranges.
So okay, yeah. I've heard tangerines from like anime, but yeah, they just look like oranges. They are oranges, like a different family of or like a different breed.
Yeah, but they're oranges but better. I like them a lot.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm not
Tangerines.
particularly into oranges, so.
Wait, have you tried tangerines?
No, never.
Ah, come on, dude. Okay, that's sad.
Ooh,
We
what
gotta
are
eat some.
mandarins? There are also other type of oranges.
I mean, yeah, mandarins, tangerines, I think they're like the same thing. I just say tangerines because it sounds prettier. I think they're about the same thing.
Ooh, momswhothinks.com.
Nice.
There's an article called Tangerines versus Mandarins, the sweet showdown of similarities and differences.
Oh, okay. This is the most fucking semantic thing. Okay, I like small oranges. Let's just say that, okay? I don't know which breed we're really talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, so I stole a bunch of tangerines / mandarins at the party because, we gotta...
Because
gotta
you're a
steal things
terrorist
from
and
the-
you like to steal. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta get the free stuff. I don't even like buy water anymore. There's like a water dispenser, and I just ruined everybody else's day by like getting a giant 2-liter bottle and like dispensing all the water. Don't worry, it like refreshes after like 2 minutes. It's not a big deal, but I do like make people mad. Free water, like what can I do?
Well, we do that in our school. It's a normal thing, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just the only one who's shameless enough to do it, from a terrorist background. Where was I? Yeah, so about the after party, I didn't go to that one, but I used to go to parties at my old school. And every time every time I was invited to go, I was like, this is gonna be shitty. I don't want to be here. But eventually, it turns out it was actually better than I thought. One, because they drank. I don't think, you're at school, you can't drink. But, they were like, they rented out like a whole little den in like the woods. Nobody was there. It was just pretty nice. And there was like a lake and there was like a sauna, very small sauna. So yeah, they were drinking, and when everybody's drunk, they tell you all the stuff about their depression and their lives. And
Nice.
and it's it's interesting to hear it, but I guess at a certain point it gets kind of sad. But I think when you're like 2 a.m. in a party, everybody's just kind of pouring their heart out, and that's great. I feel like even though it's substance assisted, it's pretty nice to see these people for what they truly are, or at least like a part of it, right?
Yeah.
They probably don't want to be like that all the time. That's why they don't drink every day. Well, some people drink every day. Those people are different. But yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I guess like the difference here is that whenever I went, I was surprised by how much I was liked by everybody. It sounds like I'm like trying to brag, but like it was genuinely a surprise for me. And like even after I left, the impression I had of myself was like, I ruined everybody's mood. I was so depressed all the time, which I was. But when I talked to these people, who were there, they were like, actually, you were like the only kind of not depressed guy. Everybody was even more depressed than you, and you had the you had the space to kind of tell jokes and alleviate the mood sometimes, because I am the greatest comedian of our time.
Of course.
So
yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just sometimes you gotta realize that your perception of yourself is very different from how others can perceive you. But eventually, I decided, and after I transferred out, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna hang around with these guys anymore. Bye bye. But yeah, that's my party story. I don't know.
Well,
I think we can talk.
I've never been to like those kind of parties ever, so I don't know. But
it's in the Europe, it's more common to have those parties.
Probably
it's
that's
just a class.
definitely a Western thing. I think so.
I saw so many people take drugs. It was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just like there was this one guy who like before even my best friend there, but like before even the party started, he was like so high off of edibles he just kind of puked the entire night. I had to look after him. Not nice, okay? Alcoholism, drug addiction, bad. This is the public PSA of purposes of the pale. Bad, maybe. Don't do it.
And our aesthetic is Disco Elysium, so okay.
No, okay. Yeah, we're hypocrites. More about content because we kind of talk about that. Great, put out a new video. Holy shit.
I did.
So I think I would like you to talk about it first, and then I can probably add in. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable commenting on it first. So yeah.
Yeah.
How was the video? What is the video about? Tell me more about it, Mr. Magic School Bus.
It's what? Okay. It's a video about a video game called Viscera Cleanup Detail. It's not really like it's not really a video game that you usually make video essays about, because it doesn't really have a narrative or like anything really, any real coherent linear structure to it. It's just, it's like a sandbox game, except that it's not really a sandbox. You just clean stuff, not stuff, you clean dead bodies and blood and gore. Because you're a janitor and you're hired by this space agency to clean up sci-fi horror maps, basically. I made the video because I don't really have a motivation. I make videos to get views, to get money. That's my motivation. I made that video I connected that with Sonder Commandos, who are I'm not going to talk about them because, watch the video. This is a promo. Watch the video.
Okay.
I talked about Sonder Commandos, who are command units of the Nazis back when, Nazis were a thing. I mean, they are still a thing, but, Nazis are a thing. It all ties back to Marx and alienation and capitalism. Like every video essay ever.
Exactly. Yeah. I watched it because I'm your biggest fan. Whoa!
Yeah.
I have notifications on. I watched it and it was good. Like, I think there were a few points where it was like, wow. I was I kind of say to you in private as well that your style of video is like you lay out a bunch of things and then you tie it back together. So like I think always the best parts of your videos are like when you at the end where you tie everything together into an intellectual orgasm, as
I'm very smart. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. And I thought, your connections with Doom and then the Sonder Commandos and eventually Marxism, capitalism, this game, obviously. Tying it all back together, it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. And also Tim Rogers in the video, so I gotta say, it's the greatest video of all time. But like, honestly, I think, maybe I'm just used to it, but the stuff about capitalism and Marxism is pretty standard.
Bones. Yeah.
That is like I guess it's good for like, a intro level analysis for this. Is somebody learning about this for the first time, which I guess could be plausible because I don't really know what your audience is right now, but I assume some of them probably won't be like as into like radical politics as you and I are. So
yeah, I mean, I do get that. I mean, that's definitely one thing that I did notice when I was writing it. But this time I tried to focus more on the connection between VCD and Marx's, alienation. Because there's another thing. I only mentioned like the 4 stages of alienation. In reality, Marx kind of mentions like 5, which is do you know the 5th one?
No, I don't.
It's species essence. You are alienated from your species essence when you are under capitalism. But the reason why I didn't, there's no reason. The main reason is that I wasn't really focusing on like bringing more theory into it. I was more focused on the video game. And you can kind of see it because I only talk about Marx for like 2 minutes at the end of the latter half of the video. So yeah. That was supposed to be some kind of like a, it was supposed to be like a noose. Not a noose. Something to tie everything together. Noose does not sound right.
You mean like a fucking rope? Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah. A rope. Yes, that's perfect. Yes. Or like duct tape. That's better. let's not do suicide things. Duct tape. I mean, you can technically kill yourself with duct tape, but yeah.
You can't
duct
kill
tape,
yourself by a lot of things. You
Yeah,
can kill yourself
a lot
by
of
drinking
things.
water too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You like swell up and shit, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Water
the
poisoning
intention.
is also a thing. Yeah.
Ah.
I do understand. Yeah.
Yeah. But as you said, I do really like want to do more theory based, not like educational channels, but in a way where it's it's approachable by normal people. And as okay, another thing is that I really want to like do something with like Marxist shit. Marxist shit. Because my problem with a lot of philosophy-based channels on YouTube is that they are like, you know how I'm pretty sure I read this somewhere that like for philosophy course at a graduate level, no, at an undergraduate level, is basically mapping out the whole of philosophy. You know, they jump between I don't know, Nietzsche and like Plato and like Heidegger and Hegel and Marx and all of those people. But then graduate level philosophy is when you focus in on like a particular aspect of philosophy, like postmodernism or dialectics, right? And my problem is that a lot of philosophy on YouTube is really based on the first half. The first thing is just like jumping between different like philosophers, which is cool, but it's not really, you know, it's not really my style. It's not something that I really dig. Like after like, I don't know, 10 videos, it's very boring because you never really get to the core of any of the people they're mentioning. So yeah, my idea is to like really hone in on like a couple of philosophers, hopefully. I mean, of course, there are exceptions to what I'm saying. So I just wanted to introduce Marxism to my channel. Is what I mean.
Oh, you want to like make it a through line later when
Yeah.
talk about other videos? You're like, as I talked about in my Dead Bodies Alienation Capitalism Jerk-off video.
Well, I mean, there's like, I think a better way to put it is I want to ease in my audience to Marx.
Yeah, ease it in into that one. I think I could notice that by the end you were obviously trying to like go for like a, I guess, maybe political message by ending it off 1984 and, you know, proposing that all hope is not lost. Revolution! Viva la France! No, wait, no, that's something else. But yeah, and I guess I do, you know, I do like, I will watch it. I'll, you know, stay tuned if you do actually, you know, dive into like specific areas of philosophy. I think that's really interesting. But I think for this video, it kind of, I could argue it detracts from the point, which is like analyzing the art, the video game right here, and using Marx as a lens into that. And I feel like ending it off at the, you know, political messages is kind of, I guess, I don't know, maybe this is not a right game of saying it because it's just a sandbox, and you definitely fucking came out with a lot of stuff to talk about. But I feel like if you ended it off on like a more definitive note for the game itself,
it
would have been like more.
I get what you mean. But
it would be more
my
effective
problem
for me.
there is that it's like there's no real narrative in that game, so I really didn't know what to do.
Yeah. But I did like the ideas you explored, how, you know, dissociating it feels to be in that industry. And I feel like your points about the game itself, about like the physics, that was great. Like, I never really heard you really dive into that. I mean, you do kind of talk about it, you know, the game mechanics in Signalis, in the Signalis video, but this one you dive into it more, and I was like, wait, that's pretty interesting. And there's this one line that you say about the game, and there was like, it was like very well written, and I can't remember. I'm gonna put the fucking quote up.
That is the very core of the hilarity present within this game, a bizarreness that can be felt when something heavy is deprived of all its weight and instead filled with an almost comedic indifference.
There are a few moments where it's like, wow, damn, he can write, oh my god. I mean, I'm obviously, I am on the side of art mostly, and politics. I mean, I'm interested in that as well. So I gravitate towards more like when you describe art really well. I'm like, damn, boy.
Yeah. Okay.
Good video. I think everybody should watch it if you're interested in weird, gory games and violence, capitalism,
Yes, thank you.
and stuff.
Thank you.
Now, meanwhile, I edit my own fucking video and it's never getting finished. Oh god. Okay. I have a few excuses I can run through right now. Number one, I'm doing commissions on the side.
Oh yeah, you should have put a trigger warning. High amount of copium.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing commissions for Metas. By the way, who is coming onto this podcast? Not coming onto this podcast. I mean, like joining the podcast.
Okay, that's
joining
illegal.
the podcast
Okay.
soon. Yeah, because we're minors still. Not saying that if you were legal, this would be a good thing to do. So yeah, he's joining the podcast soon because he wants the place to talk about like media and not normie shit. Because he has other podcasts where he mostly just talks about what did you do, what kind of lawns did you mow, Mr. American Sir. So he wants something else, something different. Which is here, Purposes of the Pale. So welcome, Metas. You're welcome to come. I mean, no, join the podcast. So yeah, I'm editing stuff for Metas. That's the copium there. I'm editing for him. I'm getting money, which is better than nothing. Which is why my videos are stalling. But I do want to up the fucking speed, I guess, because I realized I kind of ran into the same problem. I didn't have this problem for a long time, so I thought, okay, I have overcome this problem. It's not coming back to haunt me anytime soon. And then now it's come back, which is that, I realized that unless I really just go full fucking lines in motion, manga, animation, puppeting, I learned all of that. I just basically become like a graphic designer. I think she went to like a graphic design school or something. She's a graduate of that.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I've seen
either
some
I
of their
go
videos.
either I go to that level or a lot of the stuff I make, I'll just feel like, it's boring though. Like, I've learned all the shit that you're supposed to learn at this level. Like, I've done everything I could, mostly. Like, obviously there's more to learn, but on a general level, because editing is about presenting information, and there's only a few ways you can do that without it getting too obtuse, too fast, sensory overload. So sometimes I just look at what I've done, what I've edited, is like, wow, this is boring. Like, I did all of it. I have done this like several thousands of times across my own videos and commissions. But I can't really do anything new because this is the best I got right now, and I guess I'm like stuck at the skill level. Basically, I'm too good. Okay, I'm too good, which is like inversely has made me kind of hard to push forward in my own video because I feel like, fuck, I want to make it good. I want to make it look better, but I don't know how, and I don't want to just make it generic looking. This is the one thing I really struggle with the Oshinoko video as well, right? By the end, I in my mind, I thought, okay, I'm gonna push through it. I made a bunch of like presets basically, and I just like spanned them in different variations to make the video progress. Yeah, and I felt bad doing that. I didn't want to do it ever again, and obviously, I think I can still improve stuff there, but I'm starting to realize that maybe a part of it is a necessary evil. Because sometimes you just can't make every fucking cut fucking innovative, especially because I have like 5 cuts per minute or per second. So that's kind of not feasible. So yeah, I'm trying to find a balance, and most importantly, a deadline. So I'm gonna announce it on this podcast, and if I don't achieve it, I'm going to, I don't know. What do you think I should do?
Maybe like build an orphanage for all the atrocities you've committed.
I don't have the money. I spent it on the bombs. Okay.
Okay. I mean,
something else.
Maybe you could, I don't know, do something. I have no idea. It's up to you.
You have no idea how to punish me? Damn. I thought you were a sadist. Okay. What about? I already edited the podcast, so like usually so this is kind of an insider information. So we used to have like when Gray wants to be productive and stuff. He says, okay, I have a deadline, because we kind of learned it from Drake to have a deadline, and we need to tell it to somebody, to make it work. And his punishment has always been to edit the podcasts, but I do that anyways, so it doesn't work for me. Shit. What about I post my nudes? No, I don't know. We'll think about it later. Okay, I'm just gonna announce it, and my punishment is public shaming by 5 people, and also Gray, who is a part of this podcast. So in a week. Shit, I just realized I have a commission, so It's fine. In a week, I'm gonna finish the commission, and I'm gonna finish my video. It's gonna be out, and I can finally move on to better things, like I don't know, anime covers tier list, and fucking a music channel maybe. I got a lot of stuff planned. Also, a cover album of like a bunch of sad boy indie songs. I'm also working on that. But yeah, that's all in the future, and I don't want to talk about it too much. But yeah, in a week, new Curious content, and also watch Metis' shit so he pays me more, okay? He's in December right now, and he gets like double revenue because, you know, every company has like 2 bajillion ads on everything. So yeah, that's the content side.
That's very nice. I mean, I just have more videos on the way, that's all. I don't really have much stuff I'm working on, so.
He's you've been pretty consistent, I think, across the year.
I
was
mostly.
looking at, because so a general theme here is I wanted to talk about 2023 because by the time this is uploaded, which
this
is gonna be like
probably the last video of POP.
POP.
Of 2023.
No, because I'm
or
editing
the first
this
video in 2014 or 2024.
No.
What?
No,
Yeah,
2014. We're back 10 years. We're recording this. I'm editing this and posting this tonight because I feel guilty for not having like any uploads. So
okay.
This is tonight. And then next week we also have a last episode where we can talk about more stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah, more content feeding you. Imagine like me and Gray like both collectively holding a giant ass spoon like that's the voice we make.
Okay.
We're feeding you content. So yeah, I thought since this is you know, Christmas is very soon, we can talk about some our thoughts on this year, what we did, what the media
on our thoughts.
our years of our thoughts, our thoughts on media years. Yes, media. Yes, something like that. So yeah, but first thing I thought we could look over our channel, and I was trying to see how many videos I uploaded. Haha. I think I've uploaded 5 in total, and 2 of them were shitposts or AMVs. I made in like a day, so 3 videos. And you
let me check my channel.
I think there's like 10 videos, I think.
Yeah, 10 videos. That's
10
that's pretty
videos.
good. I mean,
that's
considering
quite a bit.
2 of them. Oh no, one of them is 2 years ago.
Oh wait, never mind. It's not 10 videos. It's 8 videos for this year. 10 videos total on your channel. Yeah. This is wild because if you go back to, for example, the We Must Imagine Guts Happy video, you've done a lot since then. I feel like your videos have definitely improved quite a bit.
For sure. I think this is the year that I somewhat like found my groove. I mean, not exactly. I'm still finding it, but compared to all the other stuff that I've done, I think I've definitely found something there. So
I would agree. It's like a mix of Jacob Geller, and you're basically just copying Jacob Geller.
Okay.
And also more politics. He's more like sociology guy.
Which is also okay. I'm not.
Yes. Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Your philosophy. Everything's philosophy. The Weltgeist.
Literally
yes.
Philosophy. I am.
Don't you dare fucking say it, okay? As for me, this year was a slow year for me because in the beginning of the year, which I guess I never really talked about on the channel, I was going through a lot of shit, which resulted in me changing to a different school and just going through a bunch of changes RL, and I've arrived at a healthier place. But I would say it's a pretty big achievement to get the Oshinoko video out. 44 minutes of drowning curious content, a lot of which I kind of regret. Like I don't okay, so I don't like walk back on any of the points I made, but I do think some could have been elaborated better. And also you know, I think this is the last time I'm probably gonna make a video that's 44 minutes about something I don't like. Like I'm never doing that again. It was kind of a torture putting this together. And I hated kind of the thought of like, you know, this is popular right now, so I was kind of like, I had the feeling of I gotta rush it out. You gotta rush out the hot take. And there's a few people in the comments accusing me of like outrage baiting, but like, you know, I can't really tell them that I've been reading this manga since it had like 2 chapters, and I've been following it for like 3 years. So it's like a pretty personal thing for me at this point. But obviously, when they're gonna see it is when it's gonna be the most relevant. So I can't really blame them for coming to that conclusion, right? But it's still kind of sad that it kind of ended up that way. After that, I made the Heron video, which got 53k views. Jesus Christ, holy shit! It's way too many for a video I made in 3 days.
Damn.
And,
oh yeah, I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, and the best thing for me, it's not even the views. It's look at this. I sent you. Look at it. I have the replay curve now, like all the big YouTubers do.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is like, okay, I really wish they'd give this for like smaller channels as well, because this really shows you like where the people's attentions go. Like for example, here I could see a few points that really people liked is the intro, where I just, it's a very fast intro. It's like, fuck you, it's Freedom Friday, and I flash a bunch of intros, images, which is, I guess, how you do YouTube, right? You make the intro something stark, and then there's a point where I kind of zoom in on a image, and it's like something about Contrarian being listed for 28 episodes, which is a lot for a modern anime. And I was kind of flashing text on that, and people paused to see what I was talking about. And also, just a bunch of text. Like showing text does like make people come back to, whatever you're talking about, which is kind of encouraging, because back when I made videos that had even less of an audience, less quality, people criticized me, at least people in the creator spheres. They were like, dude, too fast, I don't fucking know why are you showing so many stuff, it's not it's not good. I can't really understand all of it, and so I deliberately tried to like slow down the pace in the Oshinoko video, which I think still good moments in it, but this kind of makes me happy that there are people who would like go back and see the funny text I put on, or the funny quote-unquote text I put on. So it's kind of encouraging. But yeah, I got a replay curve. I wish this was a more implemented feature across YouTube, because it's it's really fun to see like where people pause in your videos, right? Fuck, I wish every one of my videos had those, but alas, I'm not relevant enough. But yeah, that's my channel history. I gotta make more shit. Like, I talked to Metas recently, and they're like, dude, you just gotta make more shit. Like, you have everything ready. You just gotta make more stuff. Which I think is
so
pretty much true.
Yes.
And I mean, okay, I would also say this to you. Like, I think you have everything necessary to get at least 100 times your size right now. So, just keep doing it.
Maybe.
You
gotta.
I don't know. You got a consistent quality. Just like put more effort into your editing. But I guess taking that from me doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Because
Speaking
I put too
of
much
editing,
effort.
I wanted to like talk about this before, when you were talking about editing. I don't know if DaVinci Resolve is really doing it for me.
Why?
Because like I know how the node systems work, and I know how to use them, but every time that I think of like I should do this, I just died. Like, my spirit to edit just fucking dies. It's simply it's like,
that's not even a DaVinci issue. That's a skill mindset issue.
No,
in general,
because
though.
no, because if it's like in layers, it's fine. I used to like do even like the what the fuck do you call them? Keyframes, yes, not key motion. Yeah.
Key motion.
Keyframes and like motion stuff very like easily, not just easily, but like I used to do them. I used to be very I used to look forward to doing them when I used to edit on Premiere Pro, but now I just don't want to do them. I think maybe it's the problem is that I should probably get more used to the node system.
Yeah, but, like I guess I kind of underestimate how hard it is for people to really switch.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because I've been using DaVinci the whole time, so I have a different experience with that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to like try, but there's another problem, which is that I haven't used Premiere Pro for like half a year, So now I have to relearn Premiere Pro, kinda. I mean, I definitely know the basics and shit, but I have to somewhat relearn it, which is another hassle that I need to get through. So I'm really stuck between both of them right now. I mean, I have Premiere Pro.
We lost another one.
So.
We lost another one, DaVinci Bros.
Yeah, I'm not lost yet. I mean, it's either or as of right now, because as I said, I need to either relearn relearn Premiere or learn again, which is different from relearn DaVinci.
Also, like Premiere, like I've tried to use it before After Effects as well. The reason why I don't like it is that at least nodes, right? Like they can get complicated if you put too much on it. But like in Premiere, you want to access one fucking thing, you have to go through a bunch of like different subsections of subsections. Of like, oh, dude, come on. Well, in DaVinci, if you know how to do it, you press a button and then it sets it for you. So I don't know. It's obviously an optimization thing.
I mean, yeah, DaVinci Resolve is basically like the Hegel of video editing softwares.
Okay.
It is. Because Hegel is like from the outside, he seems very like mystical and shit. Talking about dialectics and like going in and out in like a singular movement.
In and out. Whoa, Hegel. What do you mean by that?
You have the speculative movement, and then through inside we have like a dialectical movement, and then like the understanding and shit. So yeah, he's famously portrayed as a mystic. But he's not really when you like slowly start to decipher him. Similarly here, I think that is the same thing with DaVinci, but it's just too fucking hard to get into. So I don't know if I can take two Hegels at a time, man.
I don't think it is. Honestly, I really don't.
Yeah, I mean the same applies for me and Hegel, but as an outsider,
it's just like I guess investing time into it. Fucking DaVinci is more easily understandable than Hegel. Like I don't need another thicker book than the actual book to fucking understand him. DaVinci.
But DaVinci. I mean, the one thing I do like about DaVinci is that it has the Fusion tab inside like a singular app. That's the only reason that I use DaVinci, if I'm being honest. But the problem is that I don't use the Fusion tab at all, so I don't know.
I'm fucking offended. The Fusion tab is so much better than like everything the Premiere has to offer. Like just straight up.
Yeah. I mean, true. So if you have like a 10 hours of time to go through subreddits and like forum posts to how to do this certain thing in DaVinci Resolve.
I am a walking forum post. You can ask me anything, dude. Yeah, I am a walking forum post. You don't ask me anything. You're like, dude, how do I do this in Fusion? I'll tell you, okay? And you don't tell me anything. You're like, oh, you're just bitching about how, no, everything's so hard. No, you don't try to learn. You try to, when will you learn that your actions have consequences? You don't know that meme.
I mean, technically, don't you like do your, you act because of the consequences?
That was a Sammy the Sonic fan reference. Let's move on. Moving on past our own content and how great we are as people and philosophers and visionaries. We just talk about some of the media we consumed over the course of the few weeks between recording and also across the entire year. So how do you feel about this entire year media-wise, from movies, games, anime, music? Kinda, you don't really listen to much modern stuff. So what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been pretty good, I think. Like overall, for film, okay, I'll go. This like medium, I guess. For film, it's been kind of not really that big, if I'm being honest, because I mean, again, most of my film stuff, most of my like favorites and all that, I've experienced in the past 3 years. That does not include this year, because I'm slowly slowing down on my film consumption, because I've kind of run out of the classics and shit. But then again, I did watch 2001: Space Odyssey and also Ritual, which are and also 12 Angry Men, which are 3 of them are among my top favorites.
Yeah, just for context, we also are talking about media that didn't just come out this year, but also that we consumed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Clear. Oh, I mean, if we're talking about this year, then I have like a couple. That's it.
What about those couple?
Actually, I mean, I watched Barbie and Oppenheimer. That's like the big two of this year, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
And then Barbie was, if I'm being honest. Oppenheimer was pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. Barbie, I like some of the stuff. I think performance-wise and set-wise, it's a very gorgeous movie to look at. Very fun. I love as a music fan, I love that, they brought out all the, Gen Z female stars like fucking Pink Pantheress. I can't say anything. And like fucking, yeah, there's a bunch of good music. But the message itself is kind of diluted, and there were a few points I was like, okay, I guess this is fine if you're like going for a general audience, which it definitely was, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I
guess
guess
it's
the
fine.
politics aspect of Barbie is just completely shit for me. But other than that, I think all the other stuff are fine. I think. I mean, that's why I gave it like a 2.5 or like 3 stars.
I think we might have talked about the politics of Barbie, but basically my problem was that like feminist, as like a feminist movie, I think it obviously had some of its own like messages it wants to push. I just don't feel like it were that well founded, and there were a few parts I was like, and also it didn't really challenge any of the, let's say, capitalistic undertones that made everything like this in the first place. The worst fucking scene in the movie is that this is kind of offhand. Will Ferrell's like, oh no, you're gonna take away our normal Barbie? What's gonna sell? Oh, we're gonna sell depression Barbies now. And they're like, that's a good thing. Bye bye. What do you mean? They're still getting the. I don't get it. That was the worst part. They were like, we are done exploiting this version of femininity. Let's exploit mental illness instead. I cannot believe that's the part of the movie they decided to leave. But obviously, this movie had to go through Mattel, the company that makes Barbie, so I don't blame them for having this in there. But I think feminist message-wise, it was fine. But it didn't really talk about any of the other stuff that I think was equally important. And even the feminist stuff is kind of like, probably should be more evidence or like some kind of better showing of that. I think it was an okay portrayal at best.
Yeah, but then again, I guess there is like something to there's some merit to this, because I guess it kind of introduce normies to politics, I guess, sort of.
Yeah. I need to fucking re-up my brain on all the Barbie shit. I kind of forgot about that movie for a long time. It was kind of kind of flew by. It wasn't really relevant to my own personal life.
Yeah. I mean, I heard a couple of people talking about it in my school, and they talked about it in a good way. And I mean, I'm not saying talk about it, but talk about politics relating to it in a good way. So. Yeah, I guess it did do some good, and it also it kind of painted or like it rendered explicit, which is a new phrase that I've been using for a lot after reading Hegel. It kind of rendered explicit all the people who you should probably avoid in my school. So yes.
Okay. I guess it was relevant to your personal life in that way.
Yeah.
But talking about Oppenheimer, you watched it more recently. I think we talked about this on the last podcast. You think it was pretty good, but the dialogue kind of got to you. It's kind of corny or like cliche to you, right?
Yeah. It did. Especially there's like this one scene that does not leave my mind. It's okay, spoilers, kinda.
Spoilers.
It's
for
like a
Oppenheimer.
3-hour movie. No one really cares, and also it's not really like a big thing,
Spoilers
it's
for
like
Oppenheimer, okay?
Yeah. So it's the scene where after his girlfriend dies. Yeah. Or
Affair,
kills her.
girlfriend, lover.
Yeah, lover dies, and then he goes out in a snowstorm, and his wife chases after him and then asks him what it is, and like they're like very, very sad and shit, and the wife says, you cannot sin and expect us to be feel sorry for you or something. I just fucking died when I heard that, and yeah, because it's so. I don't know. It just makes me really angry because it's so bad.
Yeah, I still don't get it. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of corny, invoking.
It's
sin
very
and
fucking
sin
corny.
and like that. And yeah, invoking sin is kind of stupid. But I got a point. He got the point across. It wasn't like a egregious
I mean,
line,
if getting the point across was the point of writing, I don't think writing is very good.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying like it's the only way of writing or anything. I'm just saying I didn't mind it. I guess.
It's a bad way of writing.
I didn't think it was that bad.
That's the end of it. I mean, that kind of writing is sprinkled all across, which really took away from my experience of the movie.
Yeah, I do agree. Like a lot of the dialogue, I feel like is overly like. This is the point. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. When I feel like a lot of the stuff, its best moments, dialogue-wise, writing-wise, is where you don't really spell anything out. Or at least like not explicitly like too much. For example, Robert Downey Jr.'s character Louis Strauss, I think he was a fascinating character, because he was, especially if you know more about him, he was like a good guy, like legit, like he was advocating for like Jewish people to be like saved and be like housed in the U.S. Even though a lot of people were not pushing that, like he did good things, but then obviously it was like still for some political agenda. He wanted to get some higher status or something, and yeah, it's just he's kind of spent his whole life chasing people, or like making people admire, or not like, making people he admires respect him, which including Oppenheimer. And I guess like this is kind of historical subtext, so like I guess I'm not being too fair to the movie because like I kind of knew about the guy before, but yeah, just like having that context of his life and how that is reflected in this really kind of oddly selfish man. Like he was so stupidly selfish. Like, oh, this guy embarrassed me once, I'm gonna fucking end his life. But in the context of his entire life, and in the context of what he's trying to do for his entire life, I think it made a lot of sense, and I really enjoyed that character. I think Robert Downey Jr. did a good job. Good job, Iron Man.
I mean, okay. Also, there's one more thing about Oppenheimer that I found a little shitty. Is that like whenever he talks about anything that isn't science, it's not that I don't think it's wrong or anything like that. I mean, what he's saying is fine, but it's so bare bones. I mean, then again, it is true that I shouldn't like judge like politics in a movie that's. I mean, it is about politics, but about a character who's not really a movie for like a general audience. Probably the stuff he's saying isn't something that you hear daily, or like on a Sunday afternoon or anything like that. But whenever he says like anything that isn't religious science, like Marx, dogma, yes, it's just no, fuck. It's very kind of cringy for me. But
I also kind of said to you in private that like he is kind of meant to be a bumbling idiot in a lot of it. Besides science, like he's a guy who barely can relate to people who are like around him. So when his brother joined the stuff, like I like my brother, so communism, let me think about it. Like I don't think he actually knows anything much beyond that.
Yeah,
he was kind of pushed through the figure.
He does say that he read Das Kapital in German or something.
Yeah, he did. But,
was Das Kapital written in German? Because didn't he write it after he came to England?
Why would it not be in German still?
Because he also spoke English. Anyways.
But he's German. I don't know. Let's look into it. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, I mean, the film is clearly portraying him as like a giga genius. There's also another instance where someone's talking about him, someone's talking to him, and asking him how he knows, like, not how he knows Dutch, but about him talking Dutch. And then he says, I learned Dutch in like 3 weeks, and I challenged myself. But the thing is that he speaks perfect Dutch. Because you're supposed to think that he's like an insane mega genius, which does not come across good when he's saying bullshit. Not bullshit, but like really bare bones, like 6th grade politics and shit. So yeah, that was my other problem with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. If you read Das Kapital in German, probably should know a bit more about it.
Yeah.
Or maybe like I guess like maybe he had just like a centrist opinion on it, or he had like.
I mean, then again, you know, not Oppenheimer. Nolan is not really like a, you know, it could just be Nolan's own political thing showing up there, because he's not really.
Be the case.
Yeah, like if you go back and watch his Batman. Have you? You
No,
haven't, right?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, the Batman trilogy. It's not like a lot of people like it. I too like it. I like Heath Ledger's Joker, but if you look at the movies themselves, they're very anti-left, and like especially like I would say anti-left, definitely.
Damn. Okay. Oh, I've not really.
I mean, I wouldn't say right.
Shit.
So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm interested because I have not actually seen them. But yeah, that's
But
Oppenheimer.
they're good films, yeah. Yeah, Oppenheimer.
That's Oppenheimer.
But then again, okay, one more thing is that
okay.
I mean, this is not like a complaint. It is like a little thing that I liked. I liked "Can you hear the music?" quote. Although a lot of people use it on Instagram for like shitty reels and shit, I like the quote because it's like, you know, are you grooving with the theory? Which I find relatable. So yes.
Are you grooving with the theory? If you're talking about current movies, or like current media, which ones would be on your like top list? What's your favorite thing that you consumed this year that also came out this year?
Let me actually pull up my letterbox to like see. I did watch this film called The Holdovers, which was a pretty good. Okay, I wouldn't say it's like up there, but it's a pretty good film. It's like
Okay.
it's a Christmas movie, but it's really good.
Explain.
Okay, it's about this. It's set in this very very rich people's school. It has a professor, a history professor, who's like very grumpy and like, you know, the kind of professor that you'd hate. And then it's Christmas, so it's a boarding school, so the children all stay there. So it's Christmas, and they're off to their houses, to their families. But yeah, this one kid gets held over because his family has something else planned, and so he has to spend time with the professor, as well as there's another woman who recently lost her child, who's also there, who's like a member of the faculty but not a teacher. So it's like a very good story about these three people, you know, coming to terms with themselves and shit. And there's just like this a very good instant where the professor, not the professor, he's just a teacher. The teacher and the boy, they go to like a historical museum or something, like Greek history, and then they see like a plate that has a drawing of two people fucking.
Nice.
And then the teacher is like, see, it's not just your generation who are very not interested, but curious. That's the word. That's the word.
Christ.
Okay. Curious about sex and sexuality. It's like literally every generation ever, but the problem is every generation ever thinks they're the first, and so they do bullshit. But that's not true, and that's the power of history. The power of history is that it's not just the past. It's an explanation of the present, which is very very cool. And then the whole story is very very cool, and I really like the characters and shit. So it's a pretty good film. I wouldn't say it's like one of the best of this year, and I think if the Oscars were to be like if they were to be considered credible, I think this would be up there somewhere.
Oscars, I wonder. It's just like the Grammys. They've never been like super credible.
That
unfortunately.
is true.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd also like to talk about like I did see Past Lives, which is a very good film about immigration and love and shit.
Yeah. I think you told me about this. It's about like there's a Korean woman, right?
Yeah, a
Or-
Korean woman
yeah.
going to America, and then basically struggling with her identity. Basically, very very good.
Yeah.
And then there's also this one I don't think I told you about. It's by Ari Aster. It's Beau is Afraid.
Beau is Afraid.
Yeah,
No,
do you know
I have not
Ari
heard of this.
Aster?
No, I don't.
Ari
Who's
Aster directed
Aster?
Midsummer and Hereditary. They're both
horror movies.
very
okay.
good. Yeah, horror movies. Beau is Afraid is like it's kind of like Everything Everywhere All at Once, just that it's not very heartwarming, it's not wholesome, it's just fucking weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about this guy going to see his mother. The synopsis literally just says, a paranoid man embarks on an epic odyssey to get home to his mother.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah,
So, like-
and yeah,
Oh,
it's
Joaquin Phoenix is the lead.
yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix, who's Beau, and it's fucking deranged, and I fucking love it.
Would that be your movie of the year?
Okay, movie of the year, maybe. I'm not really sure. I mean, I haven't seen like all the. There's one movie that I really want to see. It's called Poor Things.
That's
Which
with,
I think-
Mark Ruffalo and
yeah.
Emma Stone, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
directed by Robert Eggers. Let me just check.
What? No, it was like some like not Western name. He did like The Favorite, right?
No. Sorry, not Robert Eggers. It's Yorgos Lanthimos, which is
Yeah.
Yorgos Lanthimos is like I've seen a lot of his films. I really like a lot of his films.
That might be movie of the year. I want to watch that as well, but it's not on cinemas right now.
Yeah,
for me,
me
unfortunately.
neither. So
Okay. So these are your like I guess movie of the year candidates.
yeah, kinda. And then there's also After Sun, which is kind of last year, but kind of not. Let me just see. Wait. Oh yeah, there was also Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is a very fucking good film. Did you see it?
I missed the chance to see that because I was in China.
Yeah, it's a very
I
good
wanna watch
film.
it.
But I mean, like speaking about it like politically and shit, there are some problems, but it's a very fucking good film.
All right. I don't know any of the politics problems.
And
I heard
also,
there's,
they go
there's
to
like a-
India in this one.
right. Okay, I remember now what you said about it. But I saw FD Signifier talk about it, and there's like a black anarchist in this movie, I think.
Yeah.
the
That there
punk
is.
guy.
That's it's a very good character. His name is Hobie. Yeah, it's an anarchist Spider-Man, punk Spider-Man, I think is the real name.
Yeah, fuck. When this comes to streaming services, I'm watching the shit out of me.
Is it
Shit
not
shit out of
out
it.
already?
I don't know. I've not really checked. I need to check right now. I hope it is.
It probably is. I mean, it's been a long time, right?
Maybe. I don't know. I'll check on my totally legit streaming sites. I mean, for me, I've watched only fucking, besides Oppenheimer and Barbie, I've seen Boy and the Heron, and that's definitely not fucking
Oh
going
yeah.
in my shit.
You're
Oh,
like
God,
the
it's
only.
so bad.
You're the only person in my Letterboxd friends list that gave it like 2 stars or something.
Not good, okay? And I was watching it with the girl I liked. It still was not good. It did not change anything. So, Miyazaki, I think after Totoro, which is a very understandable, very like clear, okay, this is what the movie's about and this is why it's brilliant. It's a very understandable, clear movie, very heartwarming. And after he did that, I was like, let's make it, kind of wacky. And then he did a bunch of wacky stuff, and then eventually he arrived at this semi-autobiographical, The Wind Rises, fucking devastating movie. Like has a lot of these like, I guess like, I wouldn't say impressionistic because that's just like shorthand for not linear. But yeah, this film is not linear and like has a lot of like dream sequences where he doesn't use any like dialogue or anything to convey these incredible emotions of grief and kind of your life wasting away with you, or at least your life's creation being contributed to something horrible. A great movie, like probably my favorite Ghibli movie story-wise. And then he makes this one. It's like 10 years after The Wind Rises, and I saw people talking about it. It's like, wow, this one's also very autobiographical, and this one's also about his career. It's like, okay, I'm in. I mean, The Wind Rises was good. This is not about his career. I don't. I'm so mad about it. So there's like a whole metaphor about how the Heron is Isao Takahata, who like died during making it, and he made like a bunch of really great Ghibli movies, like Grave of the Fireflies was him, Princess Kaguya was him. It's like some metaphor there, but I don't care. Why? Okay, so starting off, this movie is about this boy who didn't see his mother die, but like, you know, he saw his mother's hospital burning, and the mother died, and he has grief over that. And the movie starts off with this really brilliant scene, very well animated, probably the best looking Ghibli has ever been, like legit. Fire running sequence. It's like, wow, that's incredible. And the movie then spends a lot of this time building up this fantasy world where like this Heron's kind of like this mystical creature and trying to slowly creep into his life, and finally he kind of. This movie is, by the way, really dark. There's a lot of like, I'm gonna eat your brains out kind of bullshit. Like, you don't hear that in Ghibli movies. And also there's a sequence where he cuts over like a big fantasy fish and all the intestines come out. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, basically he's lured into this like fantasy world that's kind of threatening. But then once they enter into this world, nothing coherent ever happens. It's so bad. Like legit, it's just a bunch of images with nothing. Like, I don't know why any of the things are happening. Like some things, this is a creation of life, bro. This is the suffering of humanity. Bro, like I don't care really, because like it's so abstract without like any kind of supporting like emotional through line after it. And by the end, I just feel like we wasted a bunch of time doing legit nothing. And I was just shocked at how nothing this movie was. Like legit, the start, like trauma, fantasy kind of, you know, it's like a Narnia-ass setting. It's like, wow, opening the door, wow, look at the discovery. It's very cool. But then later, it just completely divulges into something incomprehensible. And then there's like so many themes where like it's trying to be deep. It's trying so hard to be deep, but it just doesn't, because there's nothing makes sense. Oh god. So yeah, and calling it autobiographical is just laughable. Like it's like a. I don't know if you kept up with it, but like in Japan, this movie was famous for not having any like advertisement campaign. They were like just like, here's the new Miyazaki, go watch it, Lamau. And they did, because you know people love Miyazaki over there.
Miyazaki's huge, yeah.
But in this one, they're like trying to make a new advertising, attempt, because obviously in the West he's not as big as in Japan. So he's like, this is the visionary director Hayao Miyazaki's autobiographical work, when it's just there's like a sliver of connection. There's like a giant, like a string. There's like 0.1 millimeters that's connecting everything, and it's so unconvincing, and I feel really scammed by it. It looked really good though, and the girl she liked it because she thought it was like very pretty, which I guess, you know, it makes sense. You know, Ghibli is good at making stuff pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, I lost all respect for her, and I never talked to her ever again.
I mean, okay. I'll say it here. Next year, 2024, will be the year that I get into Ghibli, probably.
Let's go! Yeah, that'll be
Hopefully.
a big PogChamp moment for me. A lot of great stuff in the Ghibli catalog. I've seen only a few of it. I've not seen House Moving Castle. I saw Spirited Away when I was 5, so it doesn't count. There's a lot of stuff I need to get to.
I've seen literally nothing. I mean, I did see Castle of Cagliostro.
Well, that's not really Ghibli. That's
that's just Miyazaki. But yeah.
Yeah, I also need to watch that. But people say it's the best Lupin thing that's ever happened. So I gotta watch that. Okay, but let's move on from. Let's not move on from movies, because we need to talk about the stuff that we watched that didn't come out this year, but were became some of our favorites.
We'll
you
kind of said.
You kind of said 12 Angry Men, Ritual. What else was there?
2001 and a Space Odyssey.
Yeah, exactly. That's the three of those.
Yeah,
right?
that's
what else?
three.
What else is there? Do you have any
ones.
others?
That's the three big ones that I would put in top of the top movies that I like. And we also watched Love and Pop.
which is like top 2 movie for me now. Like, okay, so
Damn.
for me, this year was a really great year for movies. I watched like 4 movies that could be considered like some of the all-time favorites. They're like, I mean, one is legit the all-time favorite, which is All About Lily, Chou, which I'll talk about in depth. 2 hours. Prepare yourself. You told me that you were gonna watch it in the break, and you didn't.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
And I feel mad, but you know what? I mean, you don't care about spoilers anyway, so I'll try to, I'll talk about some details I think are important. But yeah, besides Love and Pop, there's the 2 Kurosawa movies I watched, Ikiru, To Live, and also Seven Samurai. Those are all really great movies. And yeah, but I think we should talk about Love and Pop first, because we watched it together.
Yeah,
Man.
sure.
I kind of described this movie to you as everything Anna wanted to say about society in Ava, but just without the anime. Like I still think like the more I think about it,
really. Yes.
I think Evangelion is able, because it's dealing with things on such a cosmic scale. It's able to talk about things that are more like cosmic, basically. The self, others. These more broad concepts, especially when you get into what LCL means and shit. Well, I think a lot of the more, I guess, societal commentary on it is like the otaku lens and connection in the modern era, and that kind of thing. I think they translate very well to Love and Pop. I would say even better, because I guess just it takes a more realistic setting and portrays it in a more compelling way, in my opinion. Would you agree on that?
No. I mean, sure. I don't think it's really fair to compare Evangelion to Love and Pop. Is what I'm saying.
In what sense? I think
in any sense.
I think Evangelion is very much talking to otakus, and Love and Pop is also very much talking to otakus.
Yeah, but I don't think they're doing it the same way.
What do you mean?
Because Evangelion is it is talking. I mean, sure, but it's much more focused on the psychological shit. I don't think it's just fair to compare.
I'm not saying like Evangelion is the same like themes exactly. I'm saying the social commentary in Ava is kind of the same with the, not just.
I do think there's like more stuff in Evangelion, which like more stuff in general. There is
obviously it's a fucking TV show.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the social commentary translates well to Love and Pop's social commentary. Because
I mean, it's like more direct in Love and Pop, is what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a better way to say it. I feel like a lot of the stuff that's kind of subtext in Ava becomes the text, because as I said, without the I don't know if it's fair to say, but without the anime, without like a lot of the other stuff like psychoanalysis that Ava is focused on, you just get the commentary like straight to you. But I do think like Love and Pop continues at least from the Evangelion train of thought.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, but more about Love and Pop itself. It's a movie. I did not know anything about it, and for the first like 30 minutes I was like, what the fuck is this about? But roughly, it's about a bunch of girls who go on compensated dating, Enjo Kosai, which is just it's like Rent a Girlfriend but IRL basically.
Yeah.
And it's usually just for companionship, but obviously if you want to get it paid a bit more, you can do a lot of illegal shit sexually. So and I think Love and Pop, I just love. I mean, first of all, this movie is about the girls who do these things, and a lot of them have like I wouldn't say like fucking Asuka Shinji level depth of character, but like they're very distinct characters, and they kind of navigate youth in really interesting ways. Like the main girl's kind of confused about it all and chasing material things. There's a girl who tries to be the mature one, to be like stepping into society and just doing everything that an adult should do, but eventually she feels something is missing there, because eventually she falls in love with a married man, or at least a very old man, and she kind of feels like, oh fuck. Eventually they break up, but like she doesn't understand why. She's crying about it because like, well, shit, maybe I'm not enough, and that kind of doubt is still in her. And there's another character who's going to like dance classes and being like, I don't want to do school anymore. There's like a fucking line that hit like a truck for me about this character that I can't remember right now. Shit, fake fan. But yeah, that character is also really interesting. Yeah, and also one about like that one is like I really love how this movie is able to be so inconsequential, but like still be like talk about a lot of the societal things. Like one girl, like the main girl, obviously her whole thing is that she kind of feels like inferior to her peers. Because they kind of found direction, and one girl's direction is just literally, I saved the money to buy a computer. Wow, you're so cool, you can save money. That's the kind of level of like social maturity we're operating at. But yeah, that's the characters. But then eventually, it goes into this girl trying to get a ring, which costs a lot of money, but she tries to get the money through Angel Kosai, and a lot of fucking fucked up shit happens.
Yeah.
I think this movie, it kind of begins with not even Angel Kosai. It begins with just a bunch of men going up to high school girls and be like, "Can I pay you to have a meal with me?" And it's kind of absurd, but I also, it probably did happen sometimes in Japan.
Yeah, probably.
And it's about this romanticization of youth, of the image of the high school girl. So that's why, like, every time, they're trying to advertise them. Oh, God, it sounds so bad. Advertise themselves for Angel Kosai. They're like, "Hi, I'm a high school girl. I got nothing to do. I'm just a normal high schooler." Because that's what they want. Like, they want the image of the high schooler more than actually the person themselves. And you can see that the most in that scene where this really weird, creepy otaku guy is the Angel Kosai. And they go into the store. And that character is also really fascinating. He's like, oh, God, I can talk about this movie for so long. So many parts of this is like, wow. I really think this is like one of the most potent social commentaries about Japan in the 90s I've ever seen. But yeah, there's that section. I'm sorry, I'm talking so long. One last point, I'll let you talk. There's this part where they go into this porn section and she's forced to stand there because the guy won't let her leave, and she's looking at all the psychosexual, like, go all the table of contents, basically, like, oh, here's mom, here's big breasted, here's MILF, here's blah 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 blah, and there's like a giant section about like, JKs, which are high school girls.
Yeah.
I think she realizes how much she's being exploited in that. Like, no, it's so good. Top 2 movies for me.
Damn.
What do you have to say? I'm sorry, I kind of went off there.
I mean, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's a very good film. I also, most of the stuff you did say, so I don't really have anything to like really add to it, really.
Shit.
I mean, okay, I'll probably talk about like the making more, I guess, since you've talked about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's very fun film, I guess.
It is very fun. Yeah. It sounds kind of dark from my description, but it is very fun to watch.
Very fun. Yeah. It's a lot of the scene compositions and like how the camera is used to create scenes is incredible. The camera movements, especially, which we talked about when we watched the film.
I kind of said it was like an antithesis to how anime is usually made. Like, even like he's gone on record to say like, I wanted to do as many different things as I did with Eva, which he did. So many erratic camera movements. It feels really
I would say it's not like an antithesis. It's more like it does what anime can't, but also takes a lot of stuff from anime that only someone
definitely.
who's experienced in anime can do.
Yeah, I think that's what's really interesting about this, in the context of like other live action stuff.
Yeah,
There's a lot of scenes that really remind us of anime.
Yeah.
Especially some characters, like the way they act, right? Remember that one guy, like who's cooking in his apartment? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Exactly. Shit.
And like the whole thing just like feels very DIY.
Also, the last thing about the title, I didn't get it at first, but now I think it's probably the best title it could have ever gotten. So the original, it's adapted from a book, but the book is called like Topaz 2. It's like a short stories collection by an author who was male. It's kind of weird at first, like, why would you write about that when you're a male? But he actually found out he's like a feminist, and he's written a lot of this kind of political stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. But yeah, Love and Pop. I think it perfectly encapsulates this movie because a lot of it is about pop culture and how love is disseminated and portrayed in pop culture, which allows for something like Enjo Kosai to happen. Man, and it's just so good, so good. Hideaki Anno, you're the GOAT, you're the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. So yeah, that's the one movie I watched. But can I talk about Lily Shushu now?
Sure, but I do want to watch it. So I mean, I don't care about spoilers, but don't spoil like too much.
Okay, so Lily Shushu is the greatest piece of thing I've ever fucking seen ever. Like including anything, including in the airplane over the sea, including like Utena, including like Evangelion. I think okay, I don't think it's better than Eva, but like it's pretty close. So
why?
Yeah, here's the reason why. He's just like me for you. Pretty much. So Lily Chocho, I say Lily Shushu because they say it in the movie, but it's Lily Chocho as in English. Lily Chocho is about the dark sides of school. So basically, you know, including all the bullying, the neglect, all the pretty bad stuff that comes from an oppressive. Comes from like kind of an oppressive society where everybody kind of has to kind of fall in line. But this movie is also largely about connection in the internet age because a lot of this movie, Lily Chocho is an artist, but it's not really about her. It's about people who are, you know, super fans of her on this forum. And they talk about, you know, her on the forum in a very like God worshipy way, like a, you know, like Sans right nowadays. Like she comes from the ether and she fucking she can save us with her music and we have to listen to her and that kind of stuff. Very passionate, very like, you know, geeky kind of forum stuff. And this movie constantly contrasts what happens on the forum with what's happening in real life, and it creates this contrast of like, okay, so to kind of step around the spoilers, some people are much more different on the internet than they are in real life, obviously. One of the first, this is one of the first things this movie tries to say. So I mean, I obviously connected to it on that level. You know, I also be on the internet, and also it's about music, something I love, and it's about people connecting through music. Well, connecting, you know, it's a very nuanced connection that doesn't really strictly fall into the good or bad category, which is one of the reasons why this movie is so good. But also in general, I think this movie, how I described it is that it doesn't tell us much. Like it's very, it's non-linear in the storytelling, and a lot of scenes don't have much explanation, but they all make sense in my head. This is like, I don't know what this movie did to me, and I don't know if there's a word for it, but really, for example, there's a massive character change in, you know, around the middle of the movie, and it's portrayed by this character just like he's on a boat because they're like on Okinawa vacation, blah blah blah. They're on the boat and he throws the money away, and then we just gotta get like a really, okay, this is shot really badly because that's a segment that's supposed to be like student shot, and we just get a, you know, a zoom in on his expression, and that's it. And then later on, he goes through this massive character change, and it doesn't really make sense because nothing's actually told to us. But it makes sense in my brain. Like, I think this is what movies like this do so well. Like, they give you the emotion needed to make everything make sense in your head. So even though like people really complain about this movie being, oh, nothing's told, why are these people acting like this way? Like, I think that's the point. Like, it's about this, it's about youth and angst, but in a way that's totally like, it feels like it comes out of nowhere and it ends up nowhere, and it, you know, it starts out of nothing. So a lot of people, Kexi for example, he doesn't like this movie. He thinks he doesn't like the ending because it just didn't rewarding with anything, like the killing the bullies or something. But I think that's the kind of the point of this movie. It's a very messy tale of youth and angst and bullying and all this really dark stuff. But it's portrayed in a way that deliberately doesn't tell you anything, but still makes sense emotionally. So yeah, I've been trying to write something about this movie for a long time. Well, a long time as in I've watched it since like, you know, not even a week. But it's stayed in my head the whole time, and yeah, just like the elements of it, you know, the music. Since it's about Lily Choo, they obviously had to make a bunch of music for it, like by Lily Choo, who started off as a fictional band, but eventually became their own musical thing, just like Bocchi the Rock and Kesoku Band. That's why they're the same. They're the same thing. If you like this movie, damn, you're gonna watch. What is it? If you like Bocchi the Rock, you will like Lily Choo. No, you won't. But it's you won't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll definitely watch it. I do need to. Yeah, I'll probably watch it like a couple, either today or like one of these days. Yes.
Yeah. That'll be. You will be one of the enlightened ones. I love this movie, man. Like, there's so much to talk about, and we'll probably talk about it more once you finish it, and we have more thoughts to share. Okay, that's the movie part. So I guess the best movie I consumed this year. That came out this year is probably like Oppenheimer, but it's like very reluctantly to Oppenheimer. And the best movie I've seen that didn't come out this year is Lily Choo, all about Lily Choo.
All right. I mean, like, yeah, I'm not gonna rank the same thing because I don't think I really watched anything that good this year.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of times you just don't get around to the things this year.
I mean, I guess Bo's Afraid is pretty good, so I guess that maybe. Okay, yeah. Moving on from movies.
Moving on from movies. God, this, my funny bone is all destroyed. My brain is on quickfire. I can't do this anymore.
Okay, yeah.
Just talk to me about video games.
Yeah, video games, sure. What did I play this year? I think. Let me just pull up my backlog because I don't remember shit.
I played the game of life. That's what I played.
Yeah, that's it. I'm stuck on a level.
I don't want to play this shitty ass level anymore.
Yeah. I played Disco Elysium this year. God damn.
This year?
Yeah.
No.
Right? Yeah. It was this year. Damn.
Wait, I also did, I think. Shit.
Yeah. Easily the best. Best of this year.
I played it last year. I played it last year. Like.
I played it this year. I think I remember it was early this year. Disco Elysium, very, very, very good.
If you played it early this year, I probably did because we finished it around the same time. That's why we did the podcast. Like so I also played it this year.
Yeah.
Do we need to talk more about Disco Elysium? We talked about it in the second episode.
We'll just say it's a very good game. Easily the best game.
11 out of 10. 11
yes.
out of 10.
Yes.
Yeah. But what about the games that came out this year? Did you play any?
I don't think I did. Let me
Let's
just see. When added, and let me just see. Release date. I did play Signalis, which is technically last year, but no one really talked about Signalis last year, so.
The only recent game I played is Fate Samurai Remnant, which is a Fate Stay Night spin-off, and it fucking sucked ass. It was like so bad that I dropped it after like 10 hours. It was.
I played this shit game Only Up.
Only Up, damn.
Which is popular on Twitch and like the live streaming folks like Ludwig and like those people.
Okay. But they play like shit games to suffer.
Yeah.
I guess we don't have maybe we don't have like a best game, so we have a worst games category.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, worst game of the year, Only Up. Because that's the only one that I played of this year.
But like, why is it bad?
Dude, just look up Only Up on YouTube. You'll immediately understand why it's bad.
Oh shit. All right. Well then, I'll briefly explain why Samurai Remnant is bad. The combat is satisfying when you're just killing a bunch of shitty mobs, but when you're actually fighting a boss, they have this stupid ass mechanic of having a giant armor that you cannot break with like normal attacks. You have to break with special skills, which charge like every 20 minutes. So like you just like he just like you have to wait there and do nothing. And also some characters are just so overpowered than others that you play like Saber for 3 minutes because they're only allowed for 3 minutes, and you play the main character for like 20 minutes, and it's not fun at all because he's not fun to play because he's so weak. And also, the story is just a bunch of fetch quests, and there's so much stuff crammed into this game. Like there's a whole like tactical strategy Fire Emblem ass level but it's not fun. Like none of the mechanics are super in depth, and the story is also really weird. It's literally just a repeat of Fate's Stay Night. Like it's not even anything original. The only thing good about this game is like the hot servants, which that's it.
Okay.
Musashi Miyamoto, but like hot. You need to look up Musashi Miyamoto from Fate Grand Order. She's one mommy. Okay, moving on.
Well, I mean, I only got like this PC this year, I think. So
yeah.
I mean, until then, I could not play really any good games. Only like the really low graphics ones. So I guess this year doesn't really count, kinda.
Yeah.
But I did
Next
play a
year
lot of
you'll play
games
the
for
good
this
stuff.
year.
You did. You
So-
played Metal Gear. You've played also a lot of stuff
yeah.
that you've documented on this podcast.
Yes.
You're a gamer.
Yes, I'm a
Exactly.
certified gamer.
Certified gamer. What about anime though? Have you watched any anime that came out this year?
Let me see. I watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Yeah, and you can talk about it because you actually liked it, which is like I think a hot take or something.
No, I think a lot of people liked it. I think
okay.
I'm pretty sure iPatchwolf liked it.
Well, that he is the arbiter of all opinions.
No. I mean, yes. But I liked it before. I liked it before he liked it. So I guess he basically plagiarized me, which is not good, especially after the H-bomb
Exactly.
video. So
Yeah.
yes. I liked it because the original Scott Pilgrim, I really like the original Scott Pilgrim. Although I wouldn't say I like it. I don't really like it as much as, I don't know, a lot of people seem to on the internet.
I think it's because of like the visual aesthetic that people love it so much. Like the
Yeah,
editing
but
and
also
the
like
visuals.
it's humor and like, you know, it's general bizarrety is not a word, absurdity. Which, I mean, yeah, I get it. It's a very fun story and shit, but you know, I didn't think it was like the biggest thing ever. But then Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is like a reimagining of it, written by I think it's still written by the guy who wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a subversion of what the original was, I think. I mean, I haven't read the original comic, but I have seen the movie, and the movie's pretty faithful, I think.
Oh. Okay.
And this subverts the original story in a really good way. It kind of repositions the spotlight to a different character, and really, you know, it really focuses in on that character, which the same character of the original version was very bare bones, and I didn't really like that character at all, because I'm talking about Ramona Flowers, who was like this.
How can you not like Ramona Flowers? She's so she's mommy.
She's great in she's probably the best character in Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, but like in the original, she's basically just, you know, manic pixie dream girl, right?
And I want one. Please, pixie dream girl me. I want a manic pixie dream girl in my life. Please ruin my life.
Too.
Please ruin
Me
my
too,
life.
but-
Colored hair woman. Please.
This one is really focuses on Ramona Flowers, and also the ex-boyfriends, which is like the original.
The whole point, right?
Yeah. What?
Is like the whole focus is like he takes on ex-boyfriends to get.
Yeah,
Ramona,
exactly. Yeah, the original plot focuses. The whole thing is on the ex-boyfriends, not just boyfriend, just one girl, but yeah, on the exes. But the problem is that the original, I don't think it really did justice to the exes, because it just, you know, just evil. That's it. But this one, it really adds a lot of character and a lot of personality to the exes. You really like a few of them by the end. I mean, I actually like all of them. All of them are very charismatic and very fun. And then, yeah, it's like the whole thing, all the characters, everything was very well done, incredibly well animated, very good voice acting as well. Just very, very good. And I really don't fucking I just don't want to talk to anyone who says it's worse than the original or like it's bad in general. They just have bad taste.
I don't think I don't know. I've heard people say like they were surprised by the direction it took because people thought it would just be a remake of the comics. But you know, I do have to look into like some people. I think some people say that they don't like it, but I need to look into it. Maybe it's actually generally positive, like you said.
Yeah, I think it is positive because it's actually a really good not a film. It's actually a really good series. The average score on AniList is 82%, which is a pretty positive score. I mean, I gave it an 8 out of 10. So yeah, it's very, very good.
All right, I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, and I also watched Vinland Saga season 2.
I mean, I read the manga, so I didn't watch it. It's probably good. It's, you know, Farm Arc. Yeah. I have no enemies. Good meme. I watched my favorite anime of all time, and watched a bit of Oshinoko, and then I dropped it. I watched Sousou no Frieren, which I made a video about, but calling that anime of the year is such a fucking... I mean, everybody likes it now. And this is also like if you have a Frieren profile picture right now, I'm assuming you're either racist or a pedophile. It's that kind of show. So, I don't know. It's not really... it has a bad connotation to it now. I guess JJK season 2 got a lot of, you know, backlash for like how it treated the animators, but people said it was very, you know, well animated and shit, and they're going into like the best arc of the show, Shibuya Incident or something. So I'll probably catch up when that happens. But besides that, I really have not watched any anime that came out this year besides Frieren. Legit. Oh god, I'm not an anime fan.
What about anime in general though?
Yeah, that's the interesting part. What about you, first of all?
Okay, I watched. I mean, I won't say I didn't watch anything, but I did watch less than I had considering all my other years of watching anime, which is kind of, you know, it's expected. I have school and shit, and I also do a lot of new shit, and I only have. I started watching anime at night now because that's the only time that I have, and it's probably why I'm not getting any sleep. But
nice.
Yeah, I watched a couple of stuff. I watched Kill la Kill, Revolutionary Girl Utena, now and then here and there, Made in Abyss, and then this new the next part of Hajime no Ippo, Fighting Spirit, new challenger thing, and yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a bit, I guess, just in general. I started the year by finishing Utena. I finished it like, you know, January this year or something. And then I watched Canon, Kill Annie show from 2006. Not the best show, but the atmosphere is very unique, and I have a lot of good memories of it somehow.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's just I got a new PC, you know, and I started watching anime on it late at night, because that's the only time I could. And I was watching it. It's a very comfy show, and the starting fucking 5 episodes is just about how people are nice to each other in this like snowy town, which I'm basically in. It's like, wow, this is just like me for real. But I really liked it. But when it got to the drama, it got to this one girl's like a fox, and she like becomes autistic and like a baby. It was like, I don't care. So, you know, kind of went off heels. But besides that, I also watched. I read a bunch of stuff. I read a bunch of like Nishio Isin and the manga.
Okay, I mean, reading manga thing. I did read. I finished Oyasumi Punpun, which is huge.
Oh, that's gonna be your like best manga of the year. Definitely.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I also started reading Dorohedoro, which I'm still reading.
I need to read that. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely read it, not watch it. I mean, it's probably the adaptation is probably good. It has a reputation of being good, but the manga, as far as I've read, is fucking incredible.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I really need to watch that.
Yeah, as of right now, it's an easy 10.
Damn. All right.
And I'm only like what 60 chapters in.
Okay. This is getting me hyped. Okay, but like besides that, let me just run through. I watched a few Ghibli movies as well over the summer, and then I watched Karekano, That's like the last
Oh
major
yeah,
anime I got
yeah.
into.
You really like that one, yeah.
Yeah, I think my anime. I mean, Utena is definitely gonna be anime of the year, but since it's so early in the year, I'm gonna kind of exclude it, and I'm gonna go with Katakano. Fucking amazing, incredible show. Fucking Hideaki Anno was still the GOAT. Gainax was still the GOAT back then. Amazing, I loved it.
Nice. I
And
mean,
for
yeah,
you,
mine's
what
just
would-
gonna be Utena because I
Yeah,
watched
that
it
makes sense.
pretty late.
Yeah,
in,
it's Utena.
yeah.
But about manga though, I did read a lot, mostly like light novels, but also manga. I think my pick has to be the 6th Zaragoto volume, because I got into the Zaragoto series over the summer. I talked to you about this before.
Yeah, when you were in
First,
China.
first light novel series by Nishio Ishin. Very weird, but also less weird. Less like there's no like lollies or like incest in this yet, and he's
Nice.
definitely like more in his like, let's get this book to a state that it can be published. Later on, he stops giving a shit. But yeah, and part 6 is basically the culmination of everything that came before, and it's the part where the most drastic character change happens. And leads into the final trilogy, Ekosogi Radical, which is basically not even about mysteries anymore. Okay, so Zaragoto is a mystery series about like solving murders and crimes, until the last one, which is like some different thing. But yeah, this one is the peak mystery because it's like every kind of book they try to ramp it up, which is already impressive because in the first one it's about like decapitation in like locked rooms and stuff, and this one is even more brutal, like the most brutal and the most shocking. And after all of that, the main character goes through a lot of really great change that really recontextualizes his character, and then we go into the final part where everything gets resolved and I orgasm. So yeah, I think part 6 is definitely the best one. It's called Hitokui Magical, which is like cannibal magical. Yes, exactly. Go read Zaragoto and look forward to that part. It's a pretty good series. Some low points, like the third one, but a lot of really great material. I'm really glad I read it through this.
Yeah, I've never read
year.
a light novel before, so.
Yeah, because you read good novels like The Trial by Kafka, which I'm trying to go through right now.
Okay, yeah, I
borrowed
should
it.
probably talk about the books that I read because I
Yes,
started reading this year.
Yes.
So I just pulled up my Goodreads, which I have.
Nice. Send me the
Yeah,
link.
I only. Yeah, sure. I only like started reading this year actually. I mean, I've read stuff before, but not really stuff that I can remember. So I started reading this year, but also not exactly this year because I only started reading after my school opened. So like late May, early June, somewhere there. And for that, I think I've read a lot of stuff. I've read around like. It says 29, but some of them are poems, which don't really count as books. So I'd say like around 20-ish books, which is pretty good, I think, considering one of them is Crime and Punishment.
Damn. I also have it on my bookshelf right now.
Nice. I mean, yeah, Crime and Punishment is probably like one of the best books that I've ever read. I mean, also I've not really read a lot of books as of right now. I read 1984, Crime and Punishment. I read Kafka on the Shore, which I talked about a lot.
Yes.
And then The Stranger, which is by Camus, which I really, really liked. It kind of like helped me with my maths exams.
Okay.
And then I read Brave New World. I think I talked about it recently. I read The Trial, as you mentioned. The Penal Colony, which I read at school, but I really, really liked it. So,
Nice.
yes, The Penal Colony is especially good because I think you're reading Kafka on the Shore, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the main character mentions Penal Colony in there. Have you reached that part?
I've not really reached that part yet.
Yeah, he does mention there, and then he says, "My life is kind of like the machine" or something from Penal Colony, which is that's the main reason that I want to get into Kafka. So yeah.
I see. Okay.
And then, yeah, a lot of good stuff. I do want to mention, like, the worst thing that I read this year is probably The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life by Mark Manson. It's a self-help book, basically, but I want to read it because it's, like, very, very popular. You know, the title is
everywhere.
Yeah. It's shit. And then it's like, I mean, the thing he says about, like, you know, having priorities and not really caring about a lot of things. It's true, but, like, do you really need to write a book about it? It's a shitty book. I really do not like it. It did not really provide me with anything. Which, again, I'm not a big fan of self-help books, anyways. So
yeah. I mean,
and then also the guy Mark Manson, he's like a YouTuber and shit, and all of his videos are bullshit. So
really, Mark Manson, a relative of Charles Manson.
Probably. I mean, I think I remember I watched his book recommendation type of video because you know, he's like a writer and, like, he probably knows good books, right? And then he recommended The Blank Slate
Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, no, I mean, close enough. The Blank Slate by I think, who was it? Pinker? Yeah, Steven Pinker. Do you know who that is?
No, I don't.
Yeah, probably shouldn't, because he's like one of the big guys in, like, conservative, like, he could call himself a centrist, but yeah, centrist ideologues, I guess. And his argument is that no, genetics is big, so Marx is wrong when he says social conditions make people who they are. There's human nature and shit, which is not what Marx said, and also it's just bullshit. So
oh, okay. Well, I guess that warrants the worst book of the year from the most prestigious award, which is the Grey Link Award.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the best book. Okay, I read a lot of philosophy. I mean, I started to really get into philosophy this year. I'm like high on theory right now.
He's high. He's going through a trip.
Yeah. The best one, I mean, I read Leviathan by Thomas Hobbes, which was, do you know who Thomas Hobbes is?
I know Thomas Hobbes and I know Leviathan. I mean, how are you judging best book right here?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say best book with philosophy, because that's not really fair, because you have I mean, best book for, like, for fiction, I definitely just easily go to Crime and Punishment, although Kafka on the Shore is a very close second.
Oh wow, okay.
My
classmates, they have, like, Russian literature class because this school is half Russian, so they are forced to read Crime and Punishment, and they don't like it. So
I mean, you probably would hate it if you're forced to read it, but it's, like, very, very fucking atmospheric. It's very, 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 very good. Although I don't think it's kind of anti-socialist, but you know,
he is in the Soviet Union. How can you blame that?
I mean, no, he wasn't in the Soviet Union.
Okay, yeah, I don't know the timeline. I'm killing myself.
Okay, I think the story is that he was like he died in 1881. So
18. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, Dostoevsky. Yeah, Dostoevsky was he was in, like, a socialist underground socialist book club or something, where they not book club, but that's kind of like undermining it. But yeah, it was like in an underground socialist club where underground socialist society where they read literature and, like, studied socialist stuff, radical stuff, and then the Tsarist government didn't like that, and then so he was sent to Serbia, I think. Yeah, and then he basically, he just became like he turned to religion, like dark stuff. He just like completely denounced socialism, and then he completely denounced everything happy in life, because prison does turn you into that, I guess. So yeah, I mean, you can kind of see, I mean, why he is the way he is, but it's a very fucking good book. You shouldn't be forced to read it, but it's a very good book that if you read it on your own, I think you would find very, very good.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh,
Well, that's
I read
best book
I read The Republic, and I also read The Origins of Family, Private Property, and the State. Both are very, very good books. Although The Republic is quite right wing, I guess.
Well, who are they by?
The Republic is by Plato.
Yeah, I know the last one. I mean.
That's by Friedrich Engels.
Oh, Engels wrote that. Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty short read, but it's a very, very good read, especially if you're like, me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff about how family and like how how people talk about history in like in a wrong way. They don't know shit about human nature and shit. Yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. All right. For me, I mean, I didn't read many books. I mean, I did read a few. But I think the best ones I'm still reading right now, reading Neuromancer, one of the best written books I've ever read, and also Trial by Kafka I'm trying to read, and Crime and Punishment, I'll get to it one day, and also Kafka on the Shore. But I guess the best book I read, there's a book, because I finished it. I opened up the book, and I did not put it down until I saw the last page. That was how good it was. It was Malice by Keigo Hagashino, I think. Yeah, it's a Japanese mystery book about a murder, but also it's told in like multiple different perspectives. And obviously, from the title, maybe you could tell it's not just about the murder; it's about deeper human psychology, what drives people to do these things, and explores certain characters in a very interesting way. What is malice, or that kind of thing. It's amazing. I thought like I knew what's gonna happen. No, I did not. It still really blew me away, despite me like kind of expecting it, because I read it. Okay, I might have read it like 5 years ago, but I don't remember shit. So I was like, okay, I know everything. I'm gonna fucking predict this book, and I couldn't. And that's kind of the what the best mystery books do. So Malice by Keigo Hagashino, definitely a recommend for me. The worst book I read is let's just go with the one I had to read in school. It's called Chronicle of Death Foretold by this guy called Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Have you heard of that guy?
Holy shit! He's like a huge what? Why do you not like it?
No, I think it's a good book. It's just the worst one I've read this year.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Marquez is like one of those classic writers, right? He's mentioned usually with like Dostoevsky and like Proust and shit. I have a book by Proust right now, which I want to read. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't read like 100 Years of Solitude or something. I read something very short. It's called Chronicles of a Death Foretold, I told you. And it's okay. I think it has very interesting points. But I guess, my enjoyment was hampered by the fact that we had to like dig into like the minute interesting points for like fucking 5 months into this one small ass book.
True. Yeah.
But I do think it's an interesting read if you just like skim through it. You can probably read it in like 2 hours. It's pretty short. It's definitely really short, and has some pretty interesting things to say about society at the time and this kind of mysticism that, I mean, all of his books are kind of about that, but like, the mysticism in Latin American society that contrasts a lot with the like kind of the brutal things that actually goes on in the background. So yeah, I mean, good book, but the worst one I've read this year.
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. That's the book.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, if I hadn't read that terrible book by that guy, I probably would also give like worst book to like a very good book. So
yeah, we read good things. We have good taste, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you like start digging into like a particular medium, you probably like usually like get into the good stuff of what that medium has to offer. So yeah. Yeah,
exactly. My sister is giving me this book called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think that's going to be my worst book of next year or something. I don't know. Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay. Well, it's like a young adult thing. She's like, brother, you have to read this. Okay, it's very good. So yeah, I'll be a good brother and read it. I'm slightly interested because my sister got caught because like she had a book about like asexuality and murdering people, and my dad saw it and he was horrified because he's he's homophobic, all the LGBT phobic. He's like, oh, how could you do this? Oh, this Western thought is corrupting my daughter's mind. So now she hides all her books in my bookshelf. It's just something she like comes by. It's like, brother, I bought a new book, but I can't show it to anybody. So, and sometimes she recommends me books. Anyways, my sister is the best. She might appear in one of the future videos, because we have an idea. I'm just gonna say it. It's like I give her an anime title she's never heard before because she never doesn't watch anime, and she's gonna give me a synopsis. That's
I've kinda seen like similar thing with the JoJo's. Yeah,
I'm gonna try to do that, and you know, we've tried it, and I think it's funny to like, I think anime fans. Probably not funny to like people who don't know what they're talking about, but like when you're like,
I mean, then again, people who are like that probably don't watch your channel, so yeah.
Yeah. So anime fans will be fine, and I will ask her to give me a synopsis of how my sister is so cute. Oh, what is it called? My little sister can be this cute. Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be fun, I hope. But I think we can. Do I have much to talk about in terms of music? I can talk about it for ages, but
hopefully not.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I told you I have a music channel coming where I do want to rank. The top 5 albums.
That's very
of the year.
exciting because you like always talk about music, which is very like you know you talk about music more than you talk about any other stuff, and you have an anime channel, which is very
I also
weird.
do talk about anime. It's just you know. No excuses. I'm making this music channel in this break because I have so much fucking time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I do want to talk about the top 5 albums of the year and also top 5 hip hop beats because I think that would be interesting. But yeah, but a bunch of stuff. But I'll just say right now because I still have to hear a lot of albums. I have like a list of 15 of them that people rate really highly that I have not checked out, like the new Sufjan Stevens album. Do you know Sufjan Stevens?
No.
Okay, well, do you know? Actually, you won't know any of them. Do you know Mitski though? Mitski.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, yeah. Mitski came out with a new album. People say it's her best, or one of her best. So I'll check that out. But yeah, right now it's "Scaring the Host" by JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown. That's the album of the year for me.
Nice. Yesterday I think you I did like listen to most of Veteran, I think.
Yesterday you got into JPEG Mafia's Veteran. It's quite a weird album. Like I think a lot of the songs they are nice for like one time, but like I wouldn't go back to them. But the best songs on there are like, holy shit. The first song,
I agree.
Real.
The second
Gamer.
track is very good.
Real Gamer.
There's the second track.
Gamer. I'm a real gamer. with the sample. The sample actually comes from a song. Yes, I thought it was just him screaming, but it's actually a sample from a rapper called Old Dirty Bastard, who was a part of the Wu-Tang Clan. You might have heard of him. Yeah. He's like the weirdest one out of the. He died really early though. Rest in peace. And yeah, he had a whole album, whole song where he just like goes ah. So yeah, that's why I sampled it. And also there's Thug Tears with him like nails clipping. That sample was great.
Yeah,
I think it's his
remember
nails.
that one,
Yeah. And also Baby I'm Bleeding, which samples Batman versus Superman.
I think that one's pretty replayable.
Yeah, that one is Peggy, where you been at hitting those promos on the no show. I can't say the words. But yeah, so that's the album of the year so far. But album I've heard this year is probably, Twin Fantasy. I've heard a lot of my favorite stuff this year, which is, a blessing as a music fan because that doesn't happen often. So yeah, I've heard Twin Fantasy, In the Air We're Playing Over the Sea, Souvlaki, and a bunch of stuff. Like I revisited a bunch of stuff that became 10 out of 10s for me. I can talk about it forever. I won't. What about you though?
Don't.
What's your like album of the year or song of the year or like music of the year? Or at least like
album of the
year,
I think the most music that I hear are just recommendations from you, which is great. Keep doing that because I like music.
Yes.
Surprisingly, no, not surprisingly. I mean, I've always liked music, but I just don't know how to talk about. I don't really find talking about music very fun.
Yeah, it's I mean, I think talking about anything's not that fun if I don't know, like,
yeah,
it's about like having something interesting to say, and sometimes I just
Yeah,
don't have it.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, how am I supposed to describe how certain sound hit my eardrums? But like, I think, yeah, I really, really like music. I think I like it as much as you do. I just don't talk about it as much. Also, probably album of the year would probably be Twin Fantasy too. Yes.
Nice.
And also runner-ups, your usual Natural Milk Hotels.
Neutral Milk Hotel, not natural. I'm gonna kill you. I'm going to kill you right now. I'm coming to you.
No, it's actually Natural Milk Hotel. I changed it because I am literally him.
You're Jeff Mangum?
Yes.
Can I get a signature? Okay.
No,
Can you scream
because
"I
he
love
said
you,
you'll
Jesus
kill-
Christ" very loudly?
I have the Bible right next to me actually. So
Oh shit. That's gonna be the next book you read?
no, I'm actually perpetually reading it like because like Monstrosity of Jesus Christ, the book by Zizek, because a lot of stuff. Yes.
Okay. Wow. I will like buy a Bible and I'll like tore up all the pages and I'll just put it in random places in my room. So I always have a piece of cloth with me.
You should probably eat it. That's
Can you eat the Bible?
probably.
maybe.
I mean, I'm pretty sure someone has tried.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably have tried.
Yeah. Eating the Holy Scripture to digest the Holy Scripture. But yeah, okay, that's the runner-up. So, Natural Milk. Ah, god damn it. Neutral Milk Hotel. Neutral Milk Hotel. What else is there? Do you have any like punk stuff you really liked?
Oh
throughout the
yeah,
year?
punks. I mean, okay. Here's the thing. I don't listen to albums as much as you do. I listen to
Yeah,
tracks.
you can also say like songs and stuff. So I'm not
songs.
limiting
I
it to
mean,
just albums.
Sure. Then like normal songs. Then like I think I only recently started to listen to punk. So Dead Kennedys. Holiday in Cambodia. I forgot to mention in the Scott Pilgrim anime, or people don't like.
Oh
to call
yeah,
it
they
anime.
played Dead
But
Kennedys, right?
Yeah, they played Police Truck.
Oh.
Although they played it, they didn't really, they didn't play it in like a political way. But that one is a very anti-cop song, which I really like. It's one of their more catchier songs, I think.
Oh.
I think
Is it
and
on
then
their most famous album? That one, Police Truck. I think it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I'm
so.
talking about albums with you. Yeah, but yeah, okay.
I think so.
Mm.
And then there's also Uber Alles, California Uber Alles, which is very good. But a lot of stuff a lot of their stuff is satire. So it's like he's singing as like a Nazi. So yeah, there's also that. And then there's Kill the Poor.
Yeah, punk is very interesting. I've never gotten super into it, but like you've kind of introduced me to Dead Kennedys, and I like a lot of their stuff. Just like how overt. I guess like I don't really usually hear a lot of like super overt satire of that kind of stuff. But also they say the N-word sometimes, which is like
Which is like I don't think it's like that, because like it's they're like what in the 80s.
The 80s is still like I think it's earlier than that.
I've like seen like a lot of movies from the 80s or like even earlier where white people say the N-word. So I don't think it was like that much of like a big thing back then.
Yeah, I'm just saying right now it's kind of uncomfortable here. I know time. Context,
I mean, then again, I like in Holiday in Cambodia. I remember watching like a video of I forgot his name. The lead singer of System of a Down.
Oh shit, not Chop Suey. That's the name of the song. I don't know. I want a guy called Chop Suey to be born. I'm gonna call my son that. Chop Suey drowning. Introduce yourself to the class.
Oh yeah, Tankian. Search Tankian.
Search Tankian? He's a tanky? No way.
I don't know how it's pronounced. He's Lebanese Armenian musician songwriter. Yeah, I saw a video of him, singing it, and then obviously he doesn't say the N-word. So I think it's still a very good film. It's a very good song.
Yeah, I do agree. It's a very good song. Amazing. All right, that's the music of the year.
But the song of the year, My Life is Like a Video Game.
Yes. My life is. Sing it with me, Gray. 3, 2, 1. My life is like a video game. Try my best to beat the stage.
It's too good for me to sing.
I've been through therapy. Something. I need therapy.
I don't remember any of it, but yeah, it's probably the best song of all time. Actually,
you need to listen to the whole album. They have like such amazing songs on it, like Bad Girls Club. Why do good girls like bad guys? I've been thinking about it for a really long time. It's amazing. Yeah. Ronnie Radke is the voice of the generation. He's the greatest. He's the greatest artist of all time. Oh god. My favorite is Furries at the Home Depot. Do you know that song? Have I sent you that? Furries at the Home Depot.
No.
Okay.
Who's it by?
I'm getting you.
Do not.
This is the live reaction. Okay, we're live reacting to this.
Sure. Hood guy.
I can't believe I didn't show you this. Amazing green screen.
There's a furry in Home Depot. All my homies eat hot Cheetos. I was catfish by an old man. He a keto. Yeah. Hopping on the track with a guy. I said that's neato. Some people as toxic as a Taco Bell burrito. Boy, your mom weighs a whole million kilos. Yeah. I got all this ice in the bag. Let's go to Red Lobster. I'll order up some crab. You already know that white fury on the track. Furries at the Home Depot. That's not where I wanna go. Furries at the Home Depot. You already know. Furries at the Home Depot. That's not where I wanna go.
What is this? What is this video? What is this? You already know.
I just went to Home Depot. I saw a furry. They claimed it was a Halloween decoration of a werewolf, but I know it was a furry in disguise. I be eating burgers and fries. Just got the Travis Scott meal. Cactus Jack just smacked my He smacked my apple juice box out of my hand. I be at Disneyland.
Got a Home Depot furry on my lawnmower. Kill him in the face. Now he's Susie Low.
It just gets worse. It just gets worse.
You gotta shoot your brain, then you steal your chain. Every day, I'm little pine cone. Grow of the forest. I'll shoot you till you moan.
Little pine cone.
My forest throne. I'm the king. I got all this bling. Don't even try me, cause I'll go ring ring.
Okay.
What leads someone to create this?
That's not where I wanna go.
I think they're a bunch of children.
Furries at the Home Depot. You already know. Furries at the Home Depot.
Oh my god, a beat switch. This is the greatest rap song of all time.
Furries at the Home Depot. You already know.
Drake is back. Okay.
It's just like Bohemian Rhapsody because
it's progressing.
It switches from different. Oh my god, damn!
It's a Sonic Odyssey.
That's definitely the best thing I've ever heard.
That's my favorite song I've discovered. I've shown this to like everybody. Like I know, I showed this to my mom. I was like, Mom, look at this. I showed it to my sister, and she only listens to Taylor Swift. She was so confused.
Damn.
God, okay, that made me laugh. It still gets me. I've watched it like thousands of times. Okay. Can anything topic? Do we just stop with that? Do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I think Ferry said the Home Depot does it.
All right. Okay, so we still have one episode until the year's end, so not gonna get too sappy.
More about like the year and shit.
Later, in the next episode. But we did talk about media stuff, so we don't really pollute the important discussions like
feet or hands.
Feet or hands? Which one? That's gonna be the next podcast topic. of Purposes of the Pale. We're gonna talk about it with Metis. No.
So that would end this episode of The Purposes of the Pale. I was Greylink, and with me was Mr. Person.
Drowning.
Terrorist.
I'm drowning. Alright. See you all next episode next week. Okay, this time actually. Bye bye.
Yeah, yes. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Ciao. Tschüss.